he conquered 5 times the land of Alexander the Great. His name became synonymous with fear and fire. But before the empire, before the title, there was only Temujin, a betrayed, desperate outcast. The world knows him as Genghis Khan, the universal ruler whose armies carved out the largest contiguous empire in history. But his monumental rise was not defined by a slow march to power. It was sealed by a single seismic moment of transformation. This is the day Genghis Khan became a legend. The legend of Genghis Khan was not born on a battlefield, but on the sacred banks of the Onan River. It wasn't by force or power, but a seismic moment of transformation. A single decision made on one bloody afternoon when Temujin chose absolute vengeance. A vengeance that, at its conclusion, led to a sacred assembly. A Kurultai, when the last of his enemies were defeated and the Mongol tribes fully subdued. In this moment of crystallization, Genghis Khan completed a ritualized transformation from warlord into a mythical demigod that would lead the Mongols and establish the greatest empire in history. And it all starts with a man not born into power, but betrayed by his own. Left to rot in his despair, facing the constant threat of starvation. The depths from which Genghis Khan emerged are dark and marred by betrayals. First, his father, Yasuge, was poisoned by the rival Tatars. His death left a hole, leaving the Borjigan clan abandoned by their kinsmen. They were left to starve on the harsh steppe. As Temujin grew older, his fate didn't get any easier. The days of starvation were followed by devastating betrayals, particularly that of his blood brother Jamuka. Jamuka represented the nomadic order, based on aristocratic lineage and shifting alliances, who viewed Temujin's approach of meritocracy as a threat. The two brothers engaged in a rivalry that forced Temujin to create a new vision for leadership, one that wasn't forced on birthright, but demonstrated capability. Through his newfound approach, he began attracting followers or companions, bound to him by personal loyalty, something he couldn't get from his own blood, but a radical necessity for his next endeavors. It helped him achieve the one thing few men could do on their own: survive. Unfortunately, his family wasn't that lucky, and by the dawn of the 13th century, his wife was kidnapped. And through pure vengeance, Genghis Khan was about to land a devastating blow to every enemy who dared oppose him. Khan and his survivors set out, seeking revenge for the death of his father and to return his wife. They first stumbled across the Merkits, not only rescuing his wife, but brutally defeating them, leaving only a handful of survivors to spread the tale of terror. But Khan wasn't done. He had to avenge his father's death, reclaiming dignity and respect for his clan. It didn't take long for Khan and his companions to strike at the heart of the Mongol Empire, winning their first crucial battle over the Tatar dynasty. His victory was followed by an order to exterminate boys and men of a certain height to ensure no future resistance. But these battles, instead of establishing him as a hero or savior, simply made him a dominant warlord. He was the Great Khan, yet to be the Khan of Khans. His reputation, while fearsome, was still regional, and if the Great Khan was to secure his legacy and unify the Mongol tribes, he still had to defeat the Karyids and his blood brother Jamuka. Following the defeat of Temujin at the hands of Jamuka in 1199, he was forced to retreat and regroup. In an act of pure defiance and hatred, Jamuka boiled the generals he had taken hostage alive to dishonor and annihilate their souls. As written by Temujin, The earth was soaked with the blood of my warriors. Never again would I be defeated and my loyal warriors so dishonored. This brutality from Jamuka backfired, with his men seeing him as cruel and being an unfeeling ruler, forcing them to desert and join other tribes. Jamuka was now weakened, while Temujin was regrouping and planning. His campaign began with the turn of the 13th century, first devastating the Cariids near the Onon and Kurlan rivers. Survivors were integrated into his empire, but his biggest rival and former blood brother remained. Jamuka was still around, forming a coalition with the Naimans. It was only in the summer of 1204 that Genghis Khan would again come face to face with his foe. Known as the Battle of Chakirmat, a massive force led by Khan had one mission: to defeat his last remaining enemies. As the massive Mongol army came into contact with the Naimans, Khan ordered his army to scatter, allowing them to flank the Naimans. And for the next 3 days, the Mongols used attack and retreat tactics from every direction. As the Naiman army was stretched, the Mongols fired rapid volleys from bow and arrow. The Naiman vanguard hesitated, giving Khan an opening. Khan sent out 4 generals: Jibei, Kublai Khan, Jelmei, and Subutai, collapsing the Naiman vanguard when the final sortie was launched as the Mangod and Orud divisions attacked from the flanks. Bewildered and suffering mega losses, the Naiman army retreated. Then the final blow landed. Led by Genghis Khan himself, the main and reserve force began a head-on attack, driving the remaining Naimans back to a cliff. It was quickly surrounded. Within hours, every Naiman was annihilated, with its leaders falling beside the troops. He'd finally killed Taeyong Khan, cementing his legacy. Only Jamuka was taken captive, with the profound emotional attachment Khan had preventing him from killing his blood brother. Let us be companions. Now we are joined together once again, we should remind each other of things we have forgotten. Wake each other from our sleep. Even when you went away and were apart from me, you were still my lucky sworn brother. Jamuka asked his brother for forgiveness, but wasn't willing to be under his command. He insisted he be killed himself, believing that his spirit would protect Khan on his future endeavors. Kill me and lay my dead bones in the high ground. Then, eternally and forever, I will protect the seed of your seed and become a blessing for them, Jamuka said. It wasn't the resolution Khan had desired, but he agreed to the terms. Khan himself killed Jamuka, breaking his back as the most merciful method at the time, since it didn't spill any blood. He buried him with the golden sash they exchanged decades earlier. Signifying the moment, Temujin became a legend. With Jamuka, the final threat to Temujin's ascendancy now dead, he took the name Genghis Khan, which means universal leader, and embarked on a historic rise that saw him occupy more land than any leader who'd come before or who'd come after. Genghis Khan had now unified the Mongol tribes through fear, transforming himself from a warlord into the ultimate demigod. He didn't merely accept the crown, but was ritually proclaimed the Genghis Khan, and no one dared stand against him. By the end of his rule in 1227, Genghis Khan had conquered between 9 and 12 million square miles of land, stretching from the far east of China to Europe and equivalent to the African continent. But what do you think of his impressive reign? And would you like to see how he conquered so much territory so quickly? Let me know in the comments below. And make sure you are subscribed, 'cause history never dies. It just echoes.